Welcome to this latest video in the studio series that I'm doing for YouTube. So as you see, I'm in my studio here. This is video number 5. This one's going to show you a little bit more about how I set the mics up on my kit and how I take them into the logic system that I use via my desk here, just behind me, and how I run all my audio gear in and out into my computer and how I do my recordings. So I hope it's of use to you. Do leave some comments and drop me a like, and please subscribe if you find it interesting. Okay, so as you've already seen before, I've got my mics all close mic'd, my drums all close mic'd. You know, you've seen the different types of mics and stuff I've got on them. Essentially, if we take this D40 here, close mic'd, about an inch or so off the shell, the centre of the mic there, pointing towards the centre of the drum, just slightly, about an inch or two into the shell, and so into the head. And they're all similar, as you can see. And the flirt on there as well. The overheads, obviously, I'll go into them in a bit more detail. Essentially, the overheads, I keep them the same distance from the snare. So they're 2.5 sticks from the centre of my snare directly to the diaphragm of the mic. And it's, believe it or not, it's the same in that direction as well. And that helps you with any phasing issues that you might otherwise encounter. Hi-hat mic, I've got it over the top. It's pointing towards the bell, but not quite at the bell. It's a couple of inches above the cymbal when it's closed, slightly closer when it's open. The experimentation with that is that you can put it over the bell slightly more. You can point it towards the bell or point towards the edge, depending on what the sound you're looking for. I'll do a wee demonstration on that later on, a different video when we come to checking the mics and making sure they're in the right position. But that's for that particular hi-hat and for that mic combination. That's kind of where I liked it for that track. I run all my mics, all my XLRs into a stage box. This one's a Pulse 20 way. It's got 16 standard ins. You can see them there, numbered 1 to 16. And it's also got 4 outs, or 4 return channels. So 16 female sockets and 4 male sockets. And what I do is I run my mics into the 16 female sockets, and they go into the desk. I'll show you that in a second. And the other 4, I use them for returning my monitor mix, or actual, in this case, you can see I've got ANC there taking my Roland SPDSX feed to the desk, sorry, to the DI rack, and the D feed is actually bringing me back my monitor mix from the desk. I'll show you that just now. Hi, I hope you're enjoying this video. If you are, please leave a comment, drop a like, and don't forget to subscribe. It allows me to create more content like this and send it out to you. So thanks for joining me. Hope you're enjoying the content. Keep playing. So over at the desk, I've got a Behringer Eurodesk MX 328-2A. So that's 32 channels, and it's 8 aux buses. So the Roland pad goes through channels 15 and 16, and what I've actually done is I've got them going straight from the snake into the DI rack here, and this is them coming out of the DI rack, and then they come back out of the DI rack and they come into these 2 channels 15 and 16, and then these are inserting them back out into the auxiliary channels, which basically go to my PreSonus, so I can record what's happening live on all my channels. The beauty of that is obviously channels 15 and 16 here. When we're rehearsing live in the studio, I can control the volume of whatever my backing tracks are coming through my SPDSX. The other channels you can see here, the other drum channels, 1 through 13, are all my drum tracks. So kick, snare, snare 2, hi-hat, overhead right, toms, timbale, overhead left, floor tom, inside my kick drum, snare bottom. They all come through, again, the same thing. There's the snakes coming in here. Channels 1 to 16 coming from the snake. And then I insert them back out. And these are all going to the PreSonus audio interfaces. I've got 2 of these here daisy chained, and they deal with all my drum tracking. And then the output of that gets fed into the Tascam, which then drives out through the PA, out through the equalizer and the effects and the crossover, and out through the PA amps, and then into the PA speakers, which I've got either side of the studio. So as I've said, microphones from the kit, through the stage box, up to the back of the mixer, into the mixer, back out the mixer, into my audio interfaces, and through a Firewire cable into my Mac Pro, and then the drums all go into these 2 PreSonus audio interfaces, and that's dealt with in Logic. And I've also got the Tascam here, which is also running through Logic. And as you can see, the Tascam there's doing the computer busing, and it's doing the stereo bus left and right for all the interfaces and everything that comes out of the computer. So everything that goes into Logic, whether it be via the Tascam or whether it be the PreSonus, then comes out of the PreSonus and the stereo outs and out through the back into the mixer on these 2 channels, 21 and 22, which then comes out the mixing desk output through the main volume and out through the PA. So everything that I play live, any instruments we play or anything that comes out through the Mac, eventually I've got the ability to route that through the PA, and that includes live mics, samples, anything from the computer, any plugins, any VSTs, or any pre-recorded tracks. Everything's got the ability to be recorded, go through the desk, go through the audio interfaces, or come out through the PA, basically with a setup. Any more questions on that, just drop some comments below and I'm happy to answer any specifics. So in terms of a standard Logic project here, you can see that what I do have is I have my 1608 set as my output device, as I said, and for my input device I've got an aggregate device set up. You can do that quite easily within your Mac or your iMac. And what I've done here on this one is I've set an aggregate device using my Tascam 1608, my 2 PreSonus Fire Studios. You can see there, if I click on the US 1608, that shows you the 16 ins and the 8 outs there. And if I click on the PreSonus Fire Studio, that takes me from 17 to 36 in terms of the inputs, and from 9 right up to 28 in terms of the outputs. That's because I've got 2 of these units and they're daisy chained. Simply you just connect the Firewire from the out of the first one into the in of the second one, and then you connect the other ones directly to your computer, and that gives you a daisy chain effect. And you can, as I say, I've got 36 inputs in total, and I've got 28 outputs, so I've got a lot of routing there in my system, as you can see here. And because I'm using the Tascam 1608 as my clock source, then obviously there's a bit of drift correction as well, but I can change that in here. I can change it to using any of these interfaces independently, separately within Logic. If I just click on my input device, I can select them individually here. I can select the PreSonus, or I can select the US 1608 individually. I don't have to do the aggregate. Doing the aggregate allows me to have all these inputs available at once. So we'll just switch to a different session here. You see this one's a different track, it's called Struggle. Again, looking at the drum setup, I've got a track stack here with my drums bus, and on that I'm using EQ, I've got the SSLG channel, and I've got the SSL native drum strip as well. And if I click on my kick drum settings, again I've got specific settings there for that. And again the inputs are all set, so 17 from a kick drum. I've got 29 on my external, 18, 19. They'll all go through here, they're all set up. So, and I've got, that's essentially every time I set up for a drum tracking session, all I need to do is open up my drums tracking session, rename it, I'm good to go. So if I just solo the drums here with the plugins, you can hear it there with it's got some effects on it. So, if I open up the mixer window, obviously I can just show, we've got the drum tracks over up this end here. If I select them here, you see all the kind of plugins I'm running on the system as well. The government went to many laws to remove this grip on. So this particular track's got a bit of a spacey feel to it in the verses and stuff. That's why there's a bit of a delay on it. I'm not finished mixing this one yet. It's just an idea, but it shows you the kind of sounds we're getting in through that mic setup. I've shown you the close micing. Straight into Logic, allows you to do lots of creative stuff with your basic drum sound. So I'll go through this in more detail if you guys want to hear it. But for now, I'd just like to hear what the chorus sounds like. Black skin, white skin, a red blood, brown skin, yellow skin, a red blood. The stop of us are fighting or spread real love, cause we are one blood. Black skin, white skin, a red blood, brown skin, yellow skin, a red blood. The stop of us are fighting or spread real love, cause we are one blood. So as I say, not fully mixed yet, just a few ideas we're putting in here. Go back to that chorus. Nothing fancy, just a bit of delay, a bit of reverb, all mic'd up through the system I've just showed you in this video. We'll go in a bit more detail on the plugins I'm using, and the EQ and the processing that I'm using to get this particular drum sound, but I usually start with a fairly solid drum sound anyway with everything, so it's quite a natural sound before I kind of treat them with things like this with them. So give me the comments, let me know if you're liking the content, let me know what you want to see. Let's strike up a conversation. Feel free to ask any questions. I'll certainly try and answer them as best as I can. Peace out, see you in the next one.